Hello, little dreamers. Let us begin our magical tale. The Wandmaker's Apprentice, Episode 1, The Wand of the Sleepless Night. Lucas arrived on a moonless evening, the kind where the stars blink slower as if unsure whether they should stay awake. He carried a satchel filled with quiet questions and worn pages, and he had walked a long way from a town that no longer believed in wand makers. The cottage stood at the edge of the forgetting woods, crooked and silent. Smoke curled from its chimney in the shape of sleeping cats and spiral staircases, and its windows blinked like tired eyes. Lucas paused at the gate, made of woven bones and braided vines. He didn't knock. The wand-maker was already waiting. He sat on the step with a teacup that refilled itself whenever he sighed. His beard was knotted at the end with a silver bell that never rang, and his eyes were pale like old ink left out in the rain. "You're late," he said, not unkindly, "but so are most good stories." Inside the cottage smelled of moss, parchment, and something like the inside of a thundercloud. Shelves lined every wall stacked with impossible items. Teas that made you taller, feathers from birds that never existed, and a single jar labeled "One Perfect Nap." Lucas set down his satchel and waited. He had been told not to speak first. Eventually, the wand-maker said, "We have a request. A child in the North Woods has not slept in 7 nights. Her dreams have locked themselves away. We'll craft a wand to bring them home." He handed Lucas a small list written in curling silver ink. One feather from a night bird that has never flown. A flake of ice from beneath a willow's shadow. A word no one has spoken in over 100 years. "Bring them before moonfall," the wand-maker added, and without further explanation disappeared into a cupboard that hadn't been there a moment before. Lucas stared at the list. His fingers tingled slightly, though he couldn't tell if it was fear or magic. He stepped back outside. The valley was hushed. Trees leaned in slightly as if curious. Even the wind waited. He followed the old path, lit faintly by mushrooms that glowed with a cold blue light. Somewhere in the distance, something hooted. Not an owl, but close. The trail led him to a quiet grove where the trees grew in a perfect circle. At its center stood a bare silver tree with one narrow branch, and upon it perched the night bird. She was shaped like a swallow, but darker, with feathers like velvet dusk. Her eyes were closed, though she was not sleeping. She was listening. Lucas stepped carefully and knelt at the edge of the grove. He reached into his satchel and drew out a shard of lullaby glass, a gift from the wand-maker. It shimmered softly in his palm, but made no sound. He placed it gently on the ground. The night bird opened one eye. She did not speak aloud, but her voice moved across Lucas's thoughts like silk. "You seek my feather." Why? Lucas hesitated. He thought of the child in the North Woods, of the way her dreams had hidden from her. "To help someone rest," he whispered. There was a silence like falling snow. Then the night bird stretched one wing. A single feather loosed itself from her side, drifting down like a silver sigh. Lucas caught it in both hands. The bird vanished. The feather remained. He stood for a moment longer in the circle of trees, holding the first piece of the wand in his fingers. It was warm, though no sun touched it. Back at the cottage, the wand-maker had returned from his cupboard. He lit a candle shaped like a yawn and placed the feather on a velvet cloth. "Good," he said. "Now it begins." That's all for tonight, little dreamers. The story will continue in episode 2. Sleep well